In the distant northern forest, morning mist draped like a thin veil over towering pine trees, with sunlight streaming through the gaps in the canopy, casting specks of golden light onto the pine needle-covered ground. This forest was serene and profound, as if time itself slowed its pace here, the air filled with the damp scent of earth and the crisp fragrance of pine resin. Deep within this ancient woodland, a tiny life was about to embark on his first adventure. His name was Arlo, a young bear cub with fluffy brown fur, his eyes like two gleaming obsidian stones, brimming with curiosity about the world. Arlo's home was a cozy den tucked between massive boulders and ancient tree roots, lined with soft moss and feathers carefully gathered by his mother, Mara. Mara was a gentle yet powerful mother bear, her fur dark as midnight, her step steady and full of strength. Every night, she would hum a low, soothing growl to lull Arlo to sleep, as if recounting the ancient legends of the forest. Arlo was still too young to understand the meaning behind these sounds, but he could feel the warmth of his mother's presence, which let him curl up beside her with ease, dreaming of an endless green world. On this day, the sunlight was brighter than usual, and the forest was alive with the cheerful songs of birds, while a gentle breeze carried the distant murmur of a stream. For the first time, Arlo felt an inexplicable urge. His tiny limbs were no longer content with crawling around the den, he wanted to see the world outside. Mara was sunning herself at the den's entrance, her ears twitching slightly as if she sensed something. She looked down at Arlo, who was scratching the ground with his small paws, his eyes sparkling with anticipation. "Little one, you want to go out and explore, don't you?" Mara's voice was soft and deep, carrying a hint of amusement. Arlo let out a small whimper, as if answering, or perhaps just being playful. Mara stood up and slowly walked out of the den, with Arlo trailing close behind. His little legs were still wobbly, each step clumsy and cautious. As he stepped out of the den for the first time, the sunlight was so bright it made him squint. He blinked, trying to adjust to the unfamiliar brilliance. The forest's scents rushed toward him, a mix of earth, leaves, and distant flowers, a complex and wondrous aroma he had never encountered before. His tiny nose twitched, trying to capture every trace of the smell, as if the entire world was whispering to him. Mara led Arlo to a small stream, its water so clear that tiny fish glimmered like silver beneath the surface. Arlo, curious, reached out with his paw to touch the sparkling water, but he slipped and tumbled into the shallow stream with a splash. Water sprayed everywhere, and he let out a startled whimper, his fur now drenched and clinging to his body, making him look like a tiny, soggy creature. Mara looked down at him, her eyes full of amusement, but she didn't immediately pull him out. Instead, she gently nudged his back with her nose, encouraging him to stand up on his own. Arlo struggled to his feet, shook his body, and sent water droplets flying, sparkling like tiny rainbows in the sunlight. Suddenly, he realized this wasn't so scary, it was even a bit fun. He tried patting the water again, this time managing to keep his balance without falling down on the grassy bank by the stream. A few butterflies danced, their wings shimmering with blue and gold in the sunlight. Arlo had never seen such beautiful creatures. His eyes widened as he tried to chase one that fluttered close by. His little paws moved clumsily over the grass, stumbling and rolling at times, but his eyes were filled with pure joy. Mara watched him quietly, occasionally letting out a low growl, as if cheering for his bravery. The butterfly eventually soared into the sky, disappearing among the treetops. Arlo stopped, looked up, and gazed at the sky, as if wondering where the tiny creature had gone. Every corner of the forest was filled with wonder. Arlo discovered a patch of raspberry bushes, their red berries glowing among the green leaves. Mimicking Mara, he carefully parted the leaves with his paw and took a bite. The sweet tart juice burst in his mouth, and he squinted with delight, letting out a satisfied hum. Mara approached and gently licked the top of his head, as if to say, "Take your time, little one. The forest has many more treasures waiting for you." As the sun began to set, the sky took on an orange-red glow, and the forest seemed to be draped in a warm blanket. Arlo's first adventure had left him exhausted, his eyelids growing heavy, but his heart was full of contentment. He followed Mara back to the den, each step carrying newfound confidence. As he curled up beside his mother, listening to her familiar soothing growls, his mind replayed the day's images, the sparkling stream, the dancing butterflies, the sweet raspberries, and the vast green world. He knew this was only the beginning of his adventures, and the forest held countless secrets waiting to be explored. As night fell, stars twinkled in the sky, like lanterns lit for Arlo. His breathing slowed, and in his dreams, he was back by the stream, chasing butterflies, stepping on pine needles, and exploring his boundless world. Mara stayed by his side, her eyes gleaming with pride and tenderness, a miracle of a little bear's first steps, and nature's purest gift. Do you still like today's story? If you like, please remember to subscribe to this channel and click the like icon. You can receive notifications and hear the latest stories as soon as possible. Good night, my baby.